Hey, what's up, everyone? Sean here with Blue Ridge Silverhound. For a second, I forgot what my name was. We're gonna do a video that we haven't done in a minute, and that's exploring the market of fancy serial number notes. Yeah, I had compiled about 15 notes that we're gonna take a look at, all from about the last day and a half or so. So these are quite up to the minute realized sale prices. Is fancy serial number hunting still a viable thing today? And I'm happy to say that it is. People today, just based off of all of the different content that's popped up on the interweb and YouTube, specifically TikTok and all the other socials, they do realize that these things are a great chase in paper money. Call it kind of like an archaic way to kind of hold your money, as the digital world is still kind of like making its presence known and kind of making that pursuit to kind of come away from using physical cash. So how long this ride continues, is anybody's guess. One thing I could tell you, there has been some changes into the marketplace, most specifically revolving around star notes. There's been more attention paid to star notes. Is that necessarily taking away from fancy serial number collecting? Not necessarily. As a matter of fact, they're kind of supplementing each other. So the reason why that star notes have been getting all sorts of press lately is that we are essentially knocking at the door, on the door, of the eventual phase out of Star Note production. Okay, so the Star Notes that are currently out there today, it is what it is. There's going to be less of them at the highest possible grade levels and quality, and less of them that you're going to be able to find in full strap form. With the addition of the NS Lepi press, which is a non-sequential operating type of machinery, they don't need to print star notes anymore. So that this, again, through just various updates and news bulletins and things like that on YouTube, people are starting to get the hint. Now, star notes are performing like on real levels. And guys like Sam from Kingdom Currency, who is a huge advocate of fancy serial number hunting and collecting by himself, knows that Star Notes is the hottest thing going on right now. And I think fancy serial numbers in that sector of the collecting world and the hunt is kind of like riding on the coattails of Star Note activity on the market. So we're gonna go ahead and get started here. Like I do, like on the Pocket Change Market Report, the big aim here is to sell these notes right away without grading them. Grading, you're gonna end up investing anywhere from like 25 to $40 per note. And that it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get more extra added value because you have graded it. That's simply not the case. There are just certain things that you could sell the way they are. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Of course, ideally, the notes that you want to look at are dollar bills, twos, and fives. Lower denomination means that you own those notes for less and you can realize a lot more profit at the end. So we're going to start out with this $20 bill with a fancy serial number pattern that we call a radar. The technical name is a palindrome, as pointed out in this listing title. The key to the success of the sales of fancy serial numbers is ensuring that you're using all of the big hit keywords in your listing titles. This particular first person typed in fancy serial number. They even typed in the serial number, sans the letters, the prefix and suffix letters on the serial number, and just the numerals on there. They did type in palindrome, but one thing they did leave off was radar. Radar is a pretty big common search term in fancy serial number hunts. And people that do invest and collect those, they're more than likely to type in radar than they would palindrome. So this one right here, not only is it a radar, but is what we call a true trinary. True trinaries are made up strictly of zeros, ones, and twos. And this one hits every single one of that. So this one here sold for $40 and went uncontested. Brand spanking new seller, by the way, with zero feedback. And again, that's just a testament for those of you that want to jump in to do this from scratch. You could easily do that because of folks like Jalhin59 over here took advantage of that himself and ended up selling his first item. So, the note itself is not in the greatest of shape. It looks like it's circulated quite a bit. But there's no denying that that is quite the visually appealing serial number. And one of the things that we have to take into consideration, because it is a $20 bill, you want to make sure that you're making enough money for it to be worth it. Because if you ended up selling this thing for, say, $25, you got back out fees and shipping, and you might end up losing money in this proposition. I don't want to sell a $20 bill so I could get back $18. It doesn't make any sense. And that's why I tell a lot of folks, and I tell you, my collective audience, look through dollar bills, $2 bills, lower face value type notes for these particular things. Now, the morality question is, if I found this $20 and change, do I spend it? Right? That's kind of like one of the common questions. It's like, it's right on the border there. I'm happy to say that because this one's a radar and a true trinary, it has much more value than if it was just one or the other. So this person will actually end up making probably 10, 12 bucks, which is not bad. Could be a heck of a lot worse. And they even went and used My Currency Collection's coolness index. They could type in the serial number, and then that website pops out like a percentage. Some people do take this seriously, and it's fine. It's a good tool to use, and because of that, it's probably not something bad that I would avoid at all costs. It's actually probably helping the listings here. The next one that we have here, this is what we call an almost, but not quite the whole cigar. Close but no cigar. This is a ladder, and it formulates in a good way, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it ends off in 9, 2. A true ladder of all 8 digits is actually like $1,000 to $1,500 note. It's very expensive. But what if you have like a partial like this one? Have no fear. You might want to consider holding on to it and selling it. This person did, sold it for $27.99 on this dollar bill. And it's a much newer one too. It's a 2017A. It's got a few folds in there. This thing had seen some cash registers during its time. Our boy Cash and Coins needs to polish up his feedback. He's currently at 90.9%, which that's probably one bad rating from someone, especially when you only have 31 feedback. All it takes is one to have you come crashing down and knock you off, a peg or two. So make sure through your first 100 completed transactions, you do a few things. Number one, you package this thing up well and you send it out immediately. Immediacy is incredibly important as a new seller. And then number two, utilize your customer service skills and reach out to the customer. Hey, thank you for your winning bid. Did you end up receiving your note? And I would love to hear your thoughts about what you received. And, I would appreciate positive feedback as I am a growing eBay seller. And don't be afraid to, come up with your own word tracks. Don't be afraid to reach out to people. I think customer service is a long dying art, to be honest. And it's actually quite refreshing when someone does reach out to see how your experience went. Next one that we have here, and then you can grandstand and kind of draw out, this big titling on the pictures to grab the attention. This one is actually close, but no cigar. It's pretty neat. 6 of a kind sevens. It's trinary. There's an 8 and 9 in there. It's unfortunate that it's not two eights or two nines. That'd be awesome. It'd be a binary radar. But they use fancy serial number, near Unc. I don't know if it's near Unc, probably like a VF35. How about $30 though on this one here? Again, the attention to detail on the serial number and just making sure that everything's in focus when you're taking pictures is huge. That's part of the overall presentation and the cleanliness of your, what you got going on here. There's no weird glares. He took the picture at kind of like an angle, a 3/4 view angle, so that way there's no light reflectivity bouncing off, because the note is in a clear protective sleeve. I don't know if you guys see that or not, but that will reflect lighting like you would not believe. So, pretty cool sale. Again, this is one of those things that some people are a little bit on the fence about. It's not like the perfect fancy, but there is 6/7s. And we do know that 7s, 8s are two of the most widely collected numbers because of how lucky they are. All right, so keep that in mind. We also have this one here. Brand new seller right here, sold for $39.95. What we have here is a dollar bill showing binary 3s and 5s. Again, pretty nice note there. It's got a little bit of circulation, but still very presentable, and a collector would love that. We also have this guy right here. We had seen our first true trinary. We have yet again another one, and this particular seller, God bless her heart, actually used true trinary in the actual listing title, and it worked out to a good success. $24.99 on this one here. Zeros, ones, and twos. Quite nice. I like that one there. Note's in good shape. Great lighting, great photography. We also have this one here on a $19.99 $1 bill. This was actually really cool too. Another trinary, 6 in a row ones. And you can tell, as the serial number goes, it kind of trails off a little bit. There's a little bit of a number turn on the wheel there. Nothing too crazy. This is a pretty big sale at $49.99. It's not perfect. It's got a couple little red stainings on there. It's got a few edge splits. But boy, that's a pretty cool serial number. So again, if you find something like this, understand that it has way more value than you think. We also have this $20 bill. Not perfect either. It's got handwriting on the front of the note. It's a 2017 $20 bill, sold for $37.99. Binary 6s and 9s, also called a flipper. And there's only 3 numbers that you could utilize to get away with using that term: 0s, 6s, and 9s. 6s and 9s are the same type style for the numbers, are just flipped upside down. That's why they call them a flipper. So if you come across a note with 0s, 6s, and 9s, don't be afraid to use binary, trinary, and flipper as your keyword search terms in your listing title. You're going to go a long way there. This is a really solid sale. For a $20 bill, this person probably made $8 to $10. Another 20. People have been finding 20s out there. This one, however, was much more equitable for the seller. Featuring binary, 0s and 1s. One of the most collected, highly coveted serial numbers, serial number duos. It's not like your ordinary binary, because true binary, by definition, are 0s and 1s anyways. The seller said true binary bookend. Because it's 100, 100. Okay, it took me a second. I'm like, bookend? I'm not seeing it. But $120. Again, these ones with best offers, they're going uncontested. People are going in, they're hitting the buy now button, and then they're paying for it. They're not sending offers because there are some notes that maybe are a little bit underpriced. And because of that, if you had to go through the whole rigmarole of sending an offer to the seller and it's taking like half a day, someone can come in and scoop it up for the asking price, especially if it's reasonable. $20 bill, 0s and 1s, quite a nice sell there. We also have another one here from Dollar Dean. This one is a 2017 $1 bill. Another binary. We have twos and fives, very well represented on this note here. Again, great presentation with kind of utilizing what is missing. I would say on eBay listings is more vibrant kind of titling, and using that in the photos is absolutely brilliant. The white paper with the red, it really kind of like stops you in your tracks. That's cool too. The fancy serial number guide. I have that very same book too. So yeah, pretty good sale here as well. This one ended at $27.99. We did see a few birthday notes. We actually saw a ton of birthday notes, all oriented in the Western way, where it's 2 digits for the month, 2 for the day, 4 for the year, and it reads out like that. So this one here, we have a March 12, 1983. So it's 03/12/1983, $14.99. So we've seen the prices dip a little bit on these. Would I necessarily ignore them? Sure as heck not. I will gladly take $15. But this is, I think, more of a case of people don't know the true value of these because they've been selling customarily for 20 to 30 bucks a piece. But all it takes is one person to post up a few dozen of these and then do a much lower buy it now. All right, so $14.99 with free shipping. These are actually pretty good bargains here, if you ask me. And I mean, these are pretty cool. They even show a picture of how they would send it out. Obviously, they want to try and be under $20 so they can take advantage of the cheap first class plain white envelope option, which costs less than $1 to ship, and then oftentimes they'll show it as free shipping. Provides really an extra value there. But this one here, just an overall really well polished presentation for the sale. We also have this one here. Love highlighting this person's sales. Summer the Cockapoo ended up selling another binary, 1s and 7s on this dollar bill, 2017 A. They're taking advantage of the plain white envelope option as well, which is very much a great option for you guys when it comes to paper money. They ship flat, they're easy, and there's not a whole lot of like extra energy that you need to put into the packaging of these. Just make sure they're safe, kind of sleeve them up and cardboard them up a little bit. Some sort of like card stock works really well. Great sale here on this one. Holy 1999. We have another fancy here on a $20 bill, $76 sale. A bunch of 9s, 6 of them to be exact, with a 1 and 7 in there. It kind of reads like a year, 1999. I see in there. I see 1979 if you took the middle 9s out. It's got kind of like this neat kind of hybrid perpetuity type of thing happening. And it notes in really nice shape too. Believe it or not, that is a very visually appealing note. So I could see why this thing ended up selling for nearly 4 times face value. So that this is probably my favorite sale. Whether it's warranted or deserved, there are purists out there like, what the hell is that? I mean, but nonetheless, it's very cool. I like it. We also have this one here, another birthday note or anniversary note that reads November 28, 2018, $10 sale. So again, this is more of a case of I don't know what I have. The note is not in the greatest of shapes either. It looks good, but the middle is all kind of discombobulated. So yeah, there we go on that one. It's got a little edge tear too. We also have another birthday note. This one reads January 31, 1998 on a dollar bill. Okay, $15 sale here. First class letter. Again, pretty decent pictures there. A little bit on the dark side, but it works. And we also have this one here. Probably, again, another top 3 favorite of mine for this week's showing. We have a bunch of zeros. 7 of a kind zeros with a 9 in the middle. And it's what they call a changeover note. Any note with where it ends in 4 zeros or 4 9s, usually they're pulled out of the packs after they're cut, and they do whatever they do with them. But they have been known to circulate these. Um, so here's one here, and this one is like one of the more dramatic ones because it's all zeros and 1 9 in there. So this one's pretty cool. $90 all in. They're playing off of the zeros and nines on this one, and it's selling for $90. I mean, that's a perfect recipe there. We're gonna end things off here on a few of the big ones. How about a binary radar with threes and zeros? Radars, the first four numbers read the same exact but mirrored to complete out the serial number string. So 3 3, 4 zeros, and a couple more threes. $80 note here. That one's sold for, kind of like within the market range for something like this, $80 to $100. Another binary, true binary here on this 2017 $80. $150. This thing better be like lights out, and it's circulated. It's not perfect. You can see the wave. You can see a fold in there, for sure. I mean, that's a great sell there. Binaries. I'm not at all surprised that they sell for this kind of money. $100 bill. Jeez. So this one here, surprisingly, where the heck is the sale price? It doesn't even show. Let me see if I refresh this one. It might pop up. I don't know. This one's odd, but it's 7 of a kind fives on this $100 bill, and it does not show up. That's weird. I think this one sold for around $170, if I'm not mistaken. It is a high denomination. The same serial number on a dollar bill would be like $80 to $100, but because it's a hundo, it earned itself some extra money. And again, you kind of need it, considering it's a $100 bill. Because if you end up selling this for anything under $120, you're going to make no money whatsoever. So it kind of worked out. And it's a non-colorized, older style fathead. That's what we call it. That's just the new updated design after the small head stuff from 96 and so on. Let's see, I have one more note here, and it's going to be this bad boy. Holy crap. We were talking about star notes at the beginning of the show. And then we have this one here, 7 of a kind zeros with that 8 in there. So it could either be a low serial number, it could be a 7 in a row. It's a star note. I mean, there's a few things going on here. It's a binary. That's probably the least important here. But they used 7 of a kind, zeros, binary, star note, fancy serial number, solid. Man, they threw in every single key word in this one, and it sold for $250 freaking dollars. I mean, how cool is that? On a dollar bill, and that, ladies and gentlemen, that's a true testament to the power of fancy serial numbers when they're combined with star notes. As of late, they have just been incredible rocket ships of surprise. And that's kind of like the realization of the true potential, the riches that exist out there. I mean, that's very awesome. So that's going to go ahead and wrap things up on this little market jaunt on the fancy serial number stuff. Really easy to do. People are doing this, or they're hunting through bank straps instead of going through coin rolls. It's kind of a way to mix things up a little bit, and then with pretty good success, they're finding things like this. So that's going to go ahead and do it for today, my friends. I'm Sean with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Thank you again for all your time and your support. I'll be on live on Whatnot this evening, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. If you're not signed up, no better time to do it now during the holidays when things are ramping up. The price of precious metals, they're just rocketing upward, and it's really kind of like all the ships are rising with the tides. The tides have been like breakneck, kind of like high depths. It is a great time to be in the hobby. There's a lot of money flying around right now in all aspects of numismatics. So sign up for Whatnot. We're going to continue on with the awesomeness. You could go down below in the description box where my link is. You sign up under me, you get $15 off your first item. you can't beat that, ladies and gentlemen. That is a pretty good deal there. But that's it. I'm out of here. You guys have a great weekend. Continue on the hunts, and I shall see you real soon. Take care.